Hello guys, welcome to my channel, full on drama. Today I have brought you 8 Am I the Asshole Reddit stories. Story 1. Am I the asshole for refusing to swap rooms with my sister just because she's pregnant? I 17 female just recently found out that my sister 21 is pregnant, and after she told me, she said that she wants us to swap rooms because my room would be more convenient for her to have. The main reasons she wants to swap are because my room is downstairs and hers is upstairs, and she doesn't want to have to carry a baby up and down the stairs constantly, and she wants to easily be able to take the prom into her room. My room is also closer to the kitchen, has more storage space, and has an ensuite. Her room is literally bigger than mine, so I don't know why she would want a smaller room, even though she's going to have more things to put in it. And although she doesn't have an ensuite, there's a bathroom right beside her room, so it's not like she has to walk a mile for a bathroom or anything. But the main reason I don't want to swap is because my room has just been freshly painted and had new flooring put in, so I don't want to just change rooms and have it basically been done for nothing. And I told her that, and she said it was selfish of me to not want to give her my room, which is hypocritical because I asked if I could swap rooms with her ages ago. And she said no, but now that she wants mine, it's selfish of me not to give it to her. She started going on about how I have no idea how hard it's going to be for her and a bunch of other stuff to try and make me feel bad. But I basically told her I don't care how much she asks for it, I'm not swapping. Edit. Because people were asking. Yes, she pays rent. And I didn't pay for my room being done, my parents did. So, am I the asshole? Story 2. Am I the asshole for kicking my stepsister out for stealing my money to buy stuff for her son? I female 20 am married to my now husband male 20. We have 2 children together, both female twins. My stepsister female 26 has been in their life since they were born and has been huge help until she got a boyfriend who got her pregnant. She recently gave birth to her son and her boyfriend, and her broke up soon after co-parenting their newborn son. She has still been living with us and it has been no problem. Soon I realized money from the nightstand in my bedroom has been disappearing. I never left huge amounts of money in there just in case. My sister has been buying her son very expensive things. She doesn't have a job, so I have been a little suspicious on how she has brought all of these items. Yes, I want the best for her and her son. I have asked her numerous times to get a job and I can watch her son as I am a stay-at-home mom. One day more than just money disappeared. My iPad, my mother's necklace, and around 200 pounds and a watch went missing. That week, my sister came home with new baby clothes, toys, Pampers, etc. She was even wearing new clothes and accessories. I questioned her about my items and she denied and said she never took them. I was still a little suspicious, but decided to let it go as I could easily replace those items. I decided to set up cameras around my house in case she had been taking my things. I was showering and my husband was at work and my stepsister was watching the kids. I leave the bathroom to see my room left in a mess. My dresser had been gone through and my nightstand was left open and everything in it was missing. I immediately went to my stepsister and asked her about my missing items, and she continued denying. I told her I was going to check the cameras and she face went pale. I pulled out my phone and reviewed the footage to see my sister entering my room and leaving minutes later with a lot of my missing items. She screamed in my face and said it was her only source of income and she shouldn't have to steal these things. Instead, they should be given to her as she has been a huge help and needs the money for her son. I told her to give me back all my things or I will get the cops involved. She said no as she needed the money, so I told her to get her son and leave my house. She went to our father's house with my stepmother. They have been blowing up my phone calling me a selfish asshole for not helping her with money as she cannot afford to buy things for her son and my husband makes plenty, so I should help her. So am I the asshole? Story 3. Am I the asshole for frequently nagging my nephew to take up a job after he quit his old one? I 42 female am the sole guardian of my nephew 16 male, and have been raising him for the past 8 years now. His parents just aren't interested in being in his life, and I care for my nephew as if he's my own son. I don't have any other children. Right now, although we're not low income, we are definitely feeling the pinch, and we're just barely getting by. So, ever since the summer of 2023, my nephew has graciously taken up work at a restaurant. He has never really liked it, and his older colleagues used to bully him and his managers wouldn't do anything about it. Back in November, he kind of snapped, and he impulsively quit the job in order to focus on school and preparing for college. And although my nephew didn't make too much money at his restaurant gig, it was enough to make a noticeable difference for us. So ever since he quit, I've been nagging him to take up some other job, if only so that he can afford his own food and buy cool stuff he wants. My nephew is really into the guitar, so he's always looking at fancy equipment to buy. Also, to be totally honest, I just liked having the apartment to myself while my nephew was gone at work. I've never noticed it before in the 8 years that I've had my nephew living here, but it's kind of stuffy sharing my apartment with another person. So, am I the asshole? Story 4. Am I the asshole if I left home because of my pregnant sister? I, 16 female, have 3 sisters, all from ages 17 to 22. My first sister A is 17 and pregnant. She didn't know about her pregnancy until the 3rd month, and that's when everything changed. She keeps using her pregnancy against me by eating my food, saying it's the baby's fault, not me, and saying really nasty things about my looks, my style, etc. Another thing is when we are with friends, family act, she tries to embarrass me the hardest she can, saying sarcastic remarks about my looks and acne. She was never like this before, even when she was pregnant. My mother always takes her side no matter what because she sits there and cries about it. It's gotten so bad I've asked my mom if I could go live with some other relatives a few states away, and she's considering it. When my other 2 sisters found out, they said that I shouldn't move just because of her hormones changing and I need to grow up. I know her body's changing as well as her mindset, but is there really a reason to hate one of your sisters while you're pregnant? Edit. Just to explain how rude she was being, we had one of my close relatives around, and she asked if I curled my hair. I didn't. I'm a mixed race girl and have some sort wavy hair. My sister then said, no, she probably curls it because she's so white. We are the exact same color. Worse things have happened, but they're along the lines of this story, all about my looks. The way I dress and my body too. I'm a chunky girl carrying most my weight in my stomach and thighs, so you could imagine the stuff she says about calories, portions, etc. So, am I the asshole? Story 5. Am I the asshole for not inviting my stepsister at my sibling party? College? I am 22 female college student who lives on her own. I moved out when I was 18 for college. My mom married another man who has a daughter around the time of me moving out. Not that I had a problem, honestly. His daughter was 13, so now she is 17. I never got close to either him or her. I was mostly busy with my studies, and when I was not, I preferred to spend private time with my mother. So no, I didn't put in effort to get to know them, nor did they put effort into getting to know me. Now fast forward to last week. My college held an event which they called Celebrate Your Sibling Party, or simply an event where everyone brings their siblings to the party if you want to, but can still attend if you bring a friend or any guest instead, or even don't bring anyone. The sibling party was just a cherry on top, otherwise it was a very normal party that allowed only one guest. I thought of inviting a very close friend of mine since she was staying in my state. My stepfather somehow got to know of this and was like, take your sister, and my mother also talked with me about how this will be a beautiful opportunity to get to know your sister. I didn't like the pushing of us being sisters. Like, I don't know, I never thought of her as family and never had that many interactions with her. My mom decided to marry into a family. Why should that mean I, who had zero involvement, should indulge with their family games? I told my mother I already invited my friend, but she was like, meet her anywhere else or go to a club together later, but take your sister. The whole conversation, I was trying to not be rude, but because they both kept insisting on us being sisters and that I have to take her, I finally blasted and was like, no, I already have someone invited, and even if I didn't, I am not going to take her anywhere because we are not sisters just because you two married. I admit my words were kinda harsh, but they came after me respectfully declining their request many times and them not listening. Now they are both mad, and my mom texted saying I should apologize to her husband and come around more to have some family topics. So, am I the asshole? Story 6. Am I the asshole for snapping at my wife for butting into personal time with my sister? Okay, title is awful, but my twin sister and I, 25, and my wife, 36, have been having an issue. While growing up, my sister and I had very traumatic and painful experiences, and we had no family support except for ourselves. I haven't explained in detail to my wife on what we went through. I have explained briefly so she understands, but I haven't gone into details. The only one who gets is my sister because we leaned on each other to survive. We are both in therapy, but we still find more comfort between ourselves than talking about it to others. As a result, we hang out every month. Just us. Of course, my wife and I and my sister and her partner have double dates couple of times a month, but we hang out just us for a day just because it's therapeutic and enjoyable. We joke about stuff in way no one will get it. My wife doesn't like this. I genuinely don't know why, because I take her out on dates 2 a week and we have no kids and she hangs out with her friends all the time one-on-one. I have talked to her many times about this, saying it just helps to hang out with your sibling just one-on-one to have fun. She has no siblings, but she says that I'm excluding her from bonding, which is not true because my sister has made attempts to get closer to my wife, but other than double dates, my wife hasn't accepted. Yesterday was supposed to be hangout day, but while I was playing video games, my wife barged in and demanded I leave and spend time with her. I said no, right now I want to spend time with my sister and we can talk more about this at dinner. She got really upset and now isn't talking to me. I don't see how I did anything wrong wrong because I always take my wife on dates and stuff. It's just one day, but I don't know. So, am I the asshole? Story 7. Am I the asshole for calling my sister bitter and telling her she should examine her parenting instead of going off on other people? My sister and I had our sons around the same time. My nephew turned 7 in October and my son turns 7 next month. I was 20 when I had my son, and this was a big deal with my sister. She's 10 years older than I am and really had no expectations when it came to me as a mom. She predicted I would end up single and my son's dad would bail and that I would give up within the first year. Instead, we are married and we had 2 little girls after our son. We are very different parents. My sister is very strict and regimented as a mom and has a lot of rules and swift, harsh punishments for bad behavior or any subpar behavior. My husband and I would probably fall more into a gentle parenting kind of deal. We teach our kids how to act in public, but we do so in a very different way to my sister and her husband. My nephew can be very challenging and he's an angry little boy. I suspect it's because his parents are often angry and he is picking up on that and building resentment, which has made his behavior worse. Our parents have brought this up to my sister in the past and she has told them it's not true and claimed my son behaves far worse despite them saying it's not even close to the truth. Our parents had both boys on Saturday and my sister and I arrived at the same time to pick them up. Our parents' elderly neighbor approached my sister and told her that she should have a word with her son because of how rude and disrespectful he is to others. My sister told the neighbor that she had the wrong sister and my son was the kid who gets into trouble. The neighbor said she knows the boys apart and knows who the mom to each is. She told my sister that my son was very sweet and showed no disrespect the way her son did. My sister was furious. The neighbor told her that thanking someone my son for picking something up for her does not warrant being yelled at and cursed at by a small child. Apparently, my nephew got an attitude and told her nobody has to help her because she's old and can't do anything for herself. My sister went off on the neighbor and said her son is so much better behaved and accused her of spreading lies. The neighbor walked away mid-tirade and then my sister started to turn on me and instead of letting her, I said she needs to stop being so bitter and examine her parenting instead of going off on people who complain about her son's behavior. I told her I would not let her take it out on me, that she was wrong about me as a mom and that I feel like a lot of her anger comes down to that she hates that I don't get the same comments. She tried to yell at me, but I just got my son off our parents and left. My parents asked me what happened and I told them. They said I did nothing wrong, but my sister and her husband are both now coming for me for what I said, and they told me it wasn't my place to say all that disrespectful stuff. So, am I the asshole? ETA, my parents are supportive and it was my sister and her husband who told me it wasn't my place. I realize now I did not make that super clear in the end. Story 8. Am I the asshole for letting my niece stay with me while my brother was on vacation? So I, female 26, am the youngest sibling. I have an older brother, Marcus, male 31. He has 3 kids, female 16, female 6, and male 4. His eldest, who we'll call Elle, has a different mother to the other 2 kids. Elle's mom, Katie, female 32, was simply not cut out to be a mom. Elle was primarily raised by Marcus and my parents. Katie came back into her life by the time she was 12-ish, and she'd occasionally have Elle for weekends, although they often don't get along. They have a court agreement and Elle's primary residence is with Marcus and his current wife, Laura, female 30. They are not allowed to do certain things without coming to an agreement with Katie or she can take them to court, such as changing Elle's school or taking her out of the country. Laura has been egging Marcus about going on family vacation with the kids, and a couple of months ago they asked Katie if it would be okay if they took Elle with them on an overseas vacation over winter break. Katie refused and said that she's concerned the country they're going to is unsafe. This caused multiple arguments between Laura and Marcus, as Laura wants to go on the vacation without Elle and she can just stay with her mom. Eventually, that is just what they did. On the 3rd day of their 2-week vacation, Elle turned up at my house in tears and asked if she could stay with me. She explained that she and her mom had a massive argument and she can't handle being around her right now. She said that one of her younger step-siblings, female 13, used her laptop without asking and had downloaded a virus onto it while trying to download Minecraft, causing her to lose a lot of very important schoolwork that was assigned over the break. I let Elle inside and I contacted Katie. We spoke on the phone and she said she's okay with Elle staying with me, but asked me to encourage her to go home. I then texted Marcus to let him know what happened and he told me that Elle should go home to her mom. I responded and told him Elle really doesn't want to go home and Katie is okay with it. He left me on read. Elle ended up staying with me for the rest of the vacation and we had a lot of fun together. When Marcus, Laura, and the kids got back, Marcus was not happy with me. He said I've been rewarding Elle for shitty behavior and that she can't run away to my house whenever she's had a squabble with someone. We had a long conversation and I made the point that Elle is going to be an adult very soon and he could be jeopardizing their relationship. Marcus told me that's his problem, not mine, and I am not her parent, and he doesn't want his daughter to think the world revolves around her. So, am I the asshole? Thanks for watching. Comments your verdicts. Please like, share, and subscribe.